The news hit the internet like a firecracker. Zayn Malik sat down for a chat on a podcast and said some things. The man, the myth, the former One Direction heartthrob, basically told the whole world he was never really in love with Gigi Hadid. Yes, that Gigi, supermodel Gigi, mother of his child Gigi, the same Gigi he spent 6 whole years dating on and off, the same Gigi he got matching tattoos with, the same Gigi he made a whole baby with. That Gigi, before anyone starts throwing tomatoes, Zayn did not say he hates her. He said the exact opposite over and over. He loves her. He will always love her. She gave him the greatest gift of his life, their daughter Kai, who just turned 5 and apparently just lost her first tooth. But the big headline here, the one that got everyone talking, is that Zayn looked back at all those years and thought, maybe that wasn't love. Maybe it was just lust. Maybe it was just two young hot people being young and hot together. Maybe he had no idea what he was doing. Here is a question to chew on. If a guy spends 6 years with a woman, moves in with her, poses for 1 million cute couple photos, gets her eyes tattooed on his chest, and has a kid with her, how can he later say he was never in love? What even is love at that point? Zayn seems to think if he had really been in love, he would have been a better boyfriend. He would have been a better version of himself. And since he knows he messed up, since he knows he did things he should not have done, he figures it must not have been the real deal. The man literally admitted he was not a great partner, said he was young and dumb and talked to other girls when he should not have. He did not name names, did not give details, but he owned it. He looked back at his 20s and said, yeah, I was kind of a mess. And that is not exactly the kind of thing celebrities usually admit on a podcast. Usually they stick to vague Instagram captions about growth and healing. Zayn just sat there and said he was not ready. He did not know what love actually was. And now at 33, he is starting to figure it out. But here's the thing. This is not the first time Zayn has said something like this. Back in May 2024, he did an interview with Nylon magazine and talked about his old relationship with Perry Edwards. You remember Perry, right? Little Mix singer? They were engaged. It's like full-on engagement ring. Planning a wedding, the whole 9 yards. Zayn was only 21. And in that interview, he admitted he had no clue what he was doing. He said he never really had a girlfriend growing up because his parents were old school and he never brought anyone home. So when he finally got into a serious relationship, he just went for it. He thought getting engaged was what grown men did. He thought it made him an adult. Looking back, he was just a kid playing house. And then after that relationship ended, what did he do? He did the exact same thing again. He jumped right into another serious relationship with Gigi. He went from 21 to 27 with her. They had a baby. They built a whole life together. And he never really stopped to ask himself who he was when he was alone. He never took a breath, just kept moving from one big love story to the next. So when he says now that he was not in love with Gigi, what he really means is that he was not in love the way he thinks love should feel. He was not in love the way a 33-year-old man who has done the work and learned his lessons understands love. He was just doing what he thought he was supposed to do. And that is not a dig at Gigi. It is not a headline meant to hurt her. It is Zayn looking in the mirror. Now, let us rewind. Because the Zayn and Gigi story is actually kind of wild when you look at the whole thing. It started in late 2015, November. They met at a Victoria's Secret after-party. Very on brand. Zayn saw her, recognized her from her pictures, and asked her out. Their first date was at a restaurant in New York called Gemma. Within days, they were holding hands. Within weeks, they were Instagram official. She was wearing a necklace with the letter Z. By early 2016, she was in his Pillow Talk music video, rolling around on a bed with him. From there, it was a non-stop parade of red carpets and magazine covers. They walked the Met Gala together. They posed for Vogue in Italy, kissing for the cameras. They spent holidays with each other's families. Yolanda Hadid, Gigi's mom, posted photos of Zayn celebrating Eid with his own mom. Gigi wrote birthday tributes, calling him the man she loved more than she could ever put into words. And Zayn got her eyes tattooed on his chest. Not her name, her actual eyes. But here is the twist. They were never really smooth sailing. They broke up. A lot. In March 2018, they announced their first major split. Zayn wrote a statement saying they had an incredibly meaningful, loving, and fun relationship. Gigi wrote that she was forever grateful. She ended with a line that basically said, "Whatever is meant to be will be." And then, like a month later, they were spotted kissing in New York. This pattern went on for years. On again, off again. In January 2019, they split again. Then in March, Zayn randomly tweeted at Gigi Hadid, "Love you," with zero explanation. Gigi moved on for a bit with another guy, Tyler Cameron. But by early 2020, she and Zayn were back together. They quarantined at her farm in Pennsylvania during the pandemic. In April, Yolanda confirmed Gigi was pregnant. In September, baby Kai was born. It should have been the happily ever after. But in October 2021, they split for good. And it was messy. There was an argument with Yolanda. Zayn pleaded no contest to harassment charges. It was not the fairy tale ending anyone expected. So what do people think about this podcast confession? The internet had a lot to say. Some fans were genuinely upset. They thought it was a rotten thing to say about someone you spent 6 years with. They imagined Gigi sitting at home, scrolling on her phone, seeing these quotes pop up and feeling like her entire 20s had just been reduced to a footnote. Now, here is the part that might actually make you feel warm and fuzzy. Because despite all this talk about not being in love, despite the breakup, despite the messy ending, Zayn and Gigi are still in each other's lives. They are co-parents. They talk, they disagree, they figure it out. And Zayn told a story on that same podcast that proves they are not enemies. Kai lost her first baby tooth. This is a huge deal when you are 5. Zayn wanted to make it special, so he played Tooth Fairy. And he reached into his pocket and handed his daughter 500 pounds. That is like $700 American. For a single, tiny, baby tooth. Gigi found out and gave him so much grief. She was not mean about it. She was just being a mom, trying to keep things reasonable. You cannot just hand a kindergartner $700 every time a tooth falls out. Zayn defended himself, said he works his ass off, and he should be able to give his kid whatever he wants. He also admitted he overdoes it sometimes, because of how he grew up. When he was a kid, losing a tooth did not come with a cash prize. He wants Kai to have everything he did not have. He wants her life to be full and magical and easy. In the end, he agreed to lower the rate. $5 next time, he joked. The Tooth Fairy is officially on a budget. Zayn talked about being single like it is the best thing that ever happened to him. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the messy, complicated, surprisingly sweet world of Zayn and Gigi, do not keep it to yourself. Hit that like button so the algorithm knows you are here for the real talk. Subscribe while you are at it because trust me, there is so much more where this came from.